construction hats drove past us, obstructing my view of the storefront. A thin old man with a cane approached from the left. He stopped in front of the store, studied me for a few seconds, then nodded at Ken and continued past us. Who was that?
Mr. Pickers. He's head of the senior patrol. They're a group of retirees who keep an eye on things around San Ladrone.
I watched the man continue down the street. It was just after 4, between the lunch and the dinner crowds I expected would fill up the restaurants on the street, and now that the head of the senior patrol had moved on to other pressing matters, it was just Ken and me. Can I have the keys?
You know she was murdered in the store, and you still want to go in? I have the paperwork right here. You don't have to see a thing if you don't want to.
Isn't that my name on the will? He looked down at his clipboard again and tapped the form.
New owner, Polyester Monroe. Your Uncle Marius either really loved you or really hated you.
He looked back at the dingy gray storefront.
Right now, I can't tell which.
Ken juggled his clipboard and pen with a set of keys until he found the one he wanted.
I wouldn't expect much, he added.
We crossed the road in the middle, blatantly jaywalking. I might have walked to the light and waited for the signal to change if I were alone, but figured there was safety in numbers if any traffic cops decided to make an example out of us. Ken fed the key into the gate, a collapsible metal fence that had been pulled shut over the front door of the store and left locked. The key turned, but the gate refused to open. Rust at the intersecting joints left it as stiff as the Tin Woodsman, and here we were, armed with keys, legal papers, and a flashlight, but no oil can. Is there a back door?
Let's see.
As we hiked down the block then, around to the back, I noticed a shiny black Mercedes sedan with dark-tinted windows sitting alone in a parking lot at the corner. The sounds of talk radio blurred as we passed the car, the only indication that someone was inside. The front license plate read MCM. Distracted from the path, I tripped over an uneven seam in the sidewalk and landed face down in the gravel. I pushed myself back up and slapped the dirt from my black turtleneck and black velvet jeans. I wore black a lot these days. It hid most of the grime I picked up from sketching, repairing sewing machines, and using a glue gun, but it wasn't so good for hiding evidence of my klutziness. Ken didn't notice I was missing from his side until he reached the back door and turned around to look at me. "I'm okay," I said, then jogged a few steps to catch up with him.
Still as uncoordinated as you were in high school. Remember how you tripped over the hem of your prom dress during the electric slide? He laughed.
Just unlock the door, please. Ken and I had attended the same high school in the neighboring town of Glendora. Upon graduation, he had moved to San Ladrone and gone to work in his father's real estate agency, while I moved to Los Angeles and attended FIDM. I started working at To the Nines when I graduated and hadn't been back since. He turned the key and pushed the door inside. A stench of stale air, mildew, and something I immediately associated with wet metal hit me. Ken, who had been in front of me, stepped back and let me pass.
"I'll wait here,"
he said, waving his hand in front of his face. Fine. I pulled the collar of my turtleneck over my nose and mouth to filter out some of the smell, clicked on the flashlight, and entered. Tiny dust particles floated through the beam of the flashlight. As I moved farther inside, my eyes adjusted enough to make out